What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another SNA podcast video. And yeah, this is episode 186. And this is the Wrestling News Part 71, where I'm going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from the Wrestle Talk article. We're on talking about what's down in the wrestling news on December 20th, 2023. And before I begin, I just want to apologize for everyone for not wishing everybody a Merry Christmas from the past couple of days, because Christmas is less than a week from now. And I'm gonna wish you all a very merry and blessed Christmas this year in 2023, as is nearly the end, when the new beginning of a new year, which will be 2024. And I want to wish y'all many more years of blessings upon y'all's homes, and especially for you SNA fans out there. And hopefully, I'll see you guys regularly, every week on the SNA podcast on 2024 in the foreseeable future. But without further ado, let's begin. We're gonna start off with WWE backstage reactions to MJF 2024 AEW contract expiry claims. Following MJF's recent claims that his AEW contract is indeed set to expire on January 1st, 2024, the backstage reaction of those in WWE has now been revealed. With little recent mention of the topic on AEW TV for much of the year, many fans assumed that MJF had resigned with the company and the long-running bidding war of 2024's angle had been dropped. However, on a recent appearance on the Sci Media podcast, the AEW World Champion confirmed that he had, in fact, not yet committed his future to the company. He said, after all, saying, I've been saying the same thing about my contract expiration date. I've never lied. January 1st, 2024. When stuff like that gets leaked out, it it make it makes me laugh, because I remember something leaked out about Cody Rhodes having secretly re-signed, and then he showed up in WWE. Something got leaked out about CM Punk and Tony Khan, or. I think fans leaked out things like that want to be true. I love AEW. I want to stay in AEW after this pay-per-view World's End. It's time to assess assess the situation. Time to assess the situation for a professional setting. So not yet. I haven't resigned. Following MJF's statement, House of Wrestling can contact several people in WWE to gog to gog to gog their reaction. However, it many's prior belief that MJF had already resigned with have re like 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 however, what's that right here, where was I resigned with AEW had not changed even following his comments. One higher up in WWE replied, storyline, when asked regarding MJF's comments, while another stated that they believed that MJF had in fact re-signed with AEW as far back as his return to the company at All Out 2022. the same at WWE higher up than told House of Wrestling that they believed MJF was locked in to AEW and now on a huge deal following the speculated renegotiation last year. Top WWE star Cody Rhodes recently fueled the fire of potential MJF move in the future by stating his belief that the 27-year-old would end up in the company at some point. But anyways, in the same appearance on the Side Media podcast, MJF would address Cody's comments, which you can read on this article. It's like despite the ongoing uncertainties, like MJF is scheduled to defend his AEW World Championship in his hometown in Long Island, New York, at World's End on December 30th, 2023, where he faced Samoa Joe. And yeah, we are already told you this about 100 times, but I'm gonna let you guys be the judge in the comments down below who's gonna win that match. Like a week from the Saturday at World's End in December 30th, the second day before the new year, I should say. I mean, not I'll say the second, more like the day before the last day of 2023, which I believe it depends on who's going to win the match. If MJF wins, then that means he probably signed at least an extension, if not like a full, like another 5-year deal. Or unless, like, or if Samoa Joe wins the AEW championship, we all probably know that he might have not signed a deal with AEW, or at least just not yet. Or it could be a tease that it could be going to WWE because he did mentioned about when it was leaked about Cody Rhodes re-signed with AEW in 2022, back 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago. But that obviously never happened because he left the company like as soon as he dropped his AEW TNT Championship to Sammy Guevara in the unification undisputed TNT title match. And like a couple months later, he became Seth Rollins' mystery opponent for WrestleMania 38. And do you think we're going to see some sort of similarities with the Salt of the Earth / current AEW World Champion? Or do you think he's going to resign regardless? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And what you thought about the comments of MJF. Do you think he will resign with All Elite Wrestling, or he's going to let it expire and then he probably jump ship and take any offer WWE might have for him? Which I'll say half of you would say he's going to resign with AEW, whether if he's AEW champion or not, which he's going to be AEW champion because that's what Tony Khan probably, that's one of the offers he can give Mike is to keep the championship on him for more longer. That's my prediction on the matter. But it also says the higher-ups from WWE still are skeptical about MJF's comments. Probably just saying that just to make fans troll and speculate online by thinking that he's in fact is going to join WWE and he's telling the fans don't give your hopes up, like anything can happen in 2024 with his contract in the new year. Which I'll say it would depend on like where he's gonna be going. Like, is he gonna stay in AEW, remain as AEW World Champion, or he's gonna drop the title Samoa Joe in a regarding booking to like when it comes to wrestling in the match, which I'm not giving out no spoilers. I don't even know what's the results. It didn't happen yet because it's gonna happen live in December 30th, which we're gonna see who's exactly gonna win. It's just a prediction as a wrestling internet journalist, I should call myself, or a wrestling YouTube journalist if I got the term correctly. But anyways, let me also know about that in the comments down below. We're going to continue with some more MJF news now onto this Wrestle Talk article, like with him on the very same interview with Side Media Podcast. And it says MJF addressed reaction to Cody Rhodes' prediction he'll join WWE. In the current All Elite Wrestling World Champion Maxwell Jacob Freeman has commented on the response to Cody Rhodes' comments about him potentially joining WWE. Cody Rhodes, who notably made the jump from AEW to WWE in early 2022, predicted that MJF will one day end up in WWE during a recent interview with Rosenberg, like Rosenberg Wrestling. On the same interview on Side Media Podcast, MJF noted that he respected Cody Rhodes. Like he respected Cody Rhodes. Like he respected Rhodes' opinion. Let me rephrase that, and criticized fans for sugar honey iced teaing on him for saying such claims. He not would say claims or saying such terms, I should say. But MJF said, I saw fans actually sugar honey iced teaing on him when all he was saying was his opinion about my future. It's my opinion. I mean, not my. It's his opinion. My apologies about my future. It's his opinion. I pray to God I don't get lambasted online for some of the opinions I'm doing in this interview. I just feel like everything's so ra- everything's so radicalized like now in hip and hyperbolic now, I should say, yeah, like radic radicalized now in hyper by hyperbolic now. There's certain aspects about social media I love. I think it brings people in the same same like mindedness together. I think it allows people to find their own communities, but what I hate about some of the social media is I find that hate mongering and fear mongering. Like mongering is the stuff that gets pushed the most, and it's because of this sensationalist stuff that people start believing in that that in the sensationalized stuff and hyperbolic stuff, and I get hyperbolic stuff, and I can't relate to it. I'm a straight shooter. I I say it like it is 100% of the time. Cody Rhodes felt the way in Cody Rhodes mind and opinion, like that was his way of putting over a friend, a prodigy, a former coworker, a former protege. So so I still talk to Cody to this day. He's a great guy. He's doing great. Like I mean, he's great. He's a great guy. He's doing great things over there. I'm doing great things over here. There has there has there has been some speculation that MJF will leave AEW for WWE, with the AEW World Championship teasing a WWE defection numerous times on AEW television ahead of the bidding war of 2024. When asked if he has any certain I mean not concerns. I mean, when asked if he has any concerns about WWE not allowing him to be the the fullest version of himself, he responded, "I just don't know how f how the f you put a leash on me, and I swear to God, that's my honest opinion. I'm sorry. I'm I'm now cursed twice. Like I don't think anybody can hold me back from being the monster I am. I I think my career trajectory in any company is going to be exactly the same. Do I think in same aspects, AEW fits me like a glove, more so than anyone else. Yeah, I do. And it's a yeah, I do. Could in again, could an argument be made the other way around? Yeah, I'm sure these are all things I have to think about. What I do, what I do know, whatever company I pick, it will be because it feels right and it means like the most to me. MJF also shared an update on his status ahead of his AEW contract expiring, which you can read more about it read more about onto the Sportskeeda article. But anyways, what's your thoughts on about his opinions about Cody Rhodes thinking, well, one day he might join WWE? And I agree with Cody. Maybe like it may not be like this coming year, but it could be like somewhere down the line when he's fully finished what he's doing in All Elite Wrestling or anywhere in professional wrestling, wherever he signs with in 2024, which will probably be likely AEW, if not WWE, because they're going to give him the highest offer. They're going to give him They'll give him something that's more convincing, something that might fit him, like being the star in his rights of being in the company. Like whether Tony Khan extended his AEW championship reign, or even WWE, like someone like Triple H offer him a contract that he cannot refuse of being already on the main roster. Something that WWE did before with the likes of Ronda Rousey and AJ Styles. He could give him like a similar contract for them be on the main roster and skip NXT. Even though he's still like young enough to be on the developmental brand, but I think he's gonna skip there and then he's gonna go straight up to the Raw or SmackDown brand whenever he's ready. And I think the same for Jade Cargill once she makes her in-ring debut for the Stanford-based promotion. But yeah, and do you agree with him, like about him respecting Cody Rhodes's his comments and his opinions, like about him joining WWE one day? Y'all let me know down in the comments below because I sure do I sure do agree with MJF's respects on the Cody Rhodes, because it might happen one day, and even the salt of the earth even knows that, like if not if it's not this time around, like it's gonna be like whenever the next contract might expire, that he could have a run with World Wrestling Entertainment. And I agree with another thing about what he said about social media. It is one half that you can. It is what he calls it, a like social media could be uh, like it could be very radicalized, like radicalized and hyperbolic, but at the same time, it could be very hateful and negative. Like I agree on that because I like because at the other day I made a joking message to on Oscar's post like on Instagram, but I got extremely criticized because of it because it was supposed to be just a joke. And then everybody started saying, like, did she ever ask you about this? I was like, no, but I'm just making a genuine, hilarious joke, like being sarcastic about it. Like that doesn't mean not being serious about it. Like it's considering she's a heel on TV and I'm just having a little fun with her on social media. Like, what's wrong with that? Like even Oscar would agree with me on this. Like what's wrong? Like, and she'll be like, that's why you don't often go on social media. And I have plenty of friends that tell me that too. That's why I don't really go on social media unless I'm occasionally doing something like posting something for like a special occasion, like a holiday, like Christmas, for an example, or a birthday, or some kind of a special and fun hobby I like doing. Like I'll be posting stuff like that. But I don't like try to get into arguments with haters and negative people like that. And for those people that are very positive and get criticized by the negative, those who are negative on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, just ignore them and turn off your social media app off and clear it off your phone, I should say, like on your window, so you don't have to see anything of the post. Like if it's gonna make you, if it provokes you and make you angry, like just for just to advise you, like just to do that. Like I can't tell you what to do, but I'll say advising, my best advising opinion and recommendation. I think that y'all should do that, and y'all continue to stay positive, stay your nicest self that you can be, and and live life for the fullest and for the better, not for the worst. Because life is too short to be negative and argumental. But and for Oscar, like for messaging you that, like I did not mean anything I said. Obviously, you saw the funny laughing emojis, like of just playing along with the post, like because I'm a fan of Looney Tunes myself as well. So I thought I might come up with a funny line, and it's not like I offended her whatsoever. Like I'm not look shaming her. Like it's just a part of a joke. Like with her showing, like with Bugs Bunny revealing the picture of her to that Neanderthal big baseball player on the original Looney Tunes series, and he was getting insanely attracted to her. But enough about that. But I agree with MJF on one thing about that though. Like people can be very hatred and negative on social media. That's why I rarely be on there unless I haven't been on for a while and I want to check stuff out about the posts from my favorite celebrities or friends or family being on there, and I'll like their post or comment on it like in a positive manner or in a funny manner, like sarcastically or whatever it may be. But let me know about that also in the comments down below, and what's your thoughts about MJF like not thinking WWE cannot change his name, like if he ever joins them. Like if anything, they're gonna keep his name as MJF, or even if they even call him like his full proper name, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, that's what shall be. Like otherwise, if they're not going to keep him with his name, then he'd probably not join them at all. Which I wouldn't blame him. Like if you're well established already as a star, why would you stop into that journey unless you're retiring? Like, but that should be a longer way coming, like in the next half a century from now. On my opinion, of course, which I believe everybody would agree with me on this terms, especially in the industry of pro wrestling. Like the catchphrase that the Undertaker loves saying, and other wrestlers that are like in the same generation would say, "Never say never." But anyways, we're gonna move on to the next. Like move on to the next. But before I do, but if I ever did offended Oscar, I just want to say apology in advance. And I didn't mean nothing offensive. And I wouldn't never say nothing offensive and never shame nobody. Like I'm a positive and a sociable and a very sociable and very positive kind of guy. Like I would never shame nobody or say something negative about them. Like why would I do that? Like never ever. Like what they ever did, whatever anybody deserves to. What does anybody deserves to be shamed or shamed or being judged? Like if they don't deserve it. But anyways, let's move on to the next wrestling news, and it is former WWE star fighting potentially fatal infection, viral infection. It says a former WWE and current AEW star has shared an update following her recent hospitalization, revealing that her infection could have been fatal. Oh dear, that does not sound good. But anyways, 2 days after missing a schedule appearance alongside her client Andrade El Idolo at the CMLL Super Viernes event on December 15th, CJ Perry revealed that she was suffering from an infection on her finger that had then spread up to her arm. And it says right here on Tuesday, December 19th, last night, or yesterday, I should say, whatever time it was. But anyways, Perry provided a further update saying that the infection had worsened, and that she was set to go into surgery. Now, in a new update on Instagram, Perry posted a video like see below, like from her hospital bed, where she revealed that the infection could have been potentially fatal. Like while also saying that she may be due another surgery soon. The caption alongside the video also explained how this 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 whole ordeal came about with a word of warning to others, to be vi be vi- will be vigilant in similar instance. Be big vigilant in similar instances. Like Perry said, I have been in the hospital since Saturday fighting a fatal infection that came from getting a small splinter backstage at work this past Wednesday. Please keep me in your eyes. And everyone really take care of any cuts you get. A small as a splinter like can turn into a deadly infection. Love all of you guys, and thank you to everyone who has reached out. Wrestle Talk would like to continue to extend our well wishes to Perry for a speedy and safe recovery. And what's your thought about this wrestling news? And I want to wish and pray for full, fast, and speedy recovery, and she don't end up having a deadly infection like this ever again, or any to occur to into her anywhere in her body in the matter, like in general, like hopefully she don't have it nowhere else, like after this scary experience from the former ravishing Russian. But yeah, anyway, this is a video right here of her making recently a couple of days ago. But yeah, please give your wishes and prayers in the comments down below if you want to. If you if you are willing to do so, yeah, I would recommend you to do it in the comments down below if you have the thought of doing that, of course. But let's move on to the next wrestling news, and it is WWE goes off air with with champion on stretcher, and it says right here, NXT has seemingly begun to tell a compelling real life story through a new accident on television involving Ridge Holland. The oh Lord, like I was just talking about this last night on my SNA podcast NXT review. But anyways, the show featured main roster star Ridge Holland appearing earlier in the show, interrupting NXT champion Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov's in-ring moment to proclaim he was back in the brand, mentioning that he seemingly has been chronically involved in accidents and injuries. He was hoping for a new start in NXT. Furthermore, Ridge was specifically chasing the redemption of Ridge in WWE NXT, hoping to start with the measuring stick of the brand, the current NXT champion himself, Ilya Dragunov. However, when their main event match came around, there wouldn't be a conclusive winner. Instead, in an interesting angle, Ilya Dragunov was involved in an accident. It may be interesting, but I'm not sure if it's that in that, and not in a good way, I should say. It's not interesting of being in a good way because it could have some criticism, and also I'm not sure if they should be doing it unless this is telling a story that he can overcome such accidents when it comes to facing his opponents, and doing it in more of a safer manner rather than a more brutal manner, to the point that his opponent is going to be injured out of hitting a move on them, and the injury occurred in general, like it'll prevent any injuries to occur in any situation. Like hopefully it turns into that kind of story, and Ridge Holland is improving into the squared circle. But anyways, Ilya Dragunov was involved in an accident that appeared to could threaten an injury in the storyline, as after a move the champ went down, gasping at his neck, and every and I mean yeah, and even holding fingers like in a a relatively unnatural position for times on camera for dramatic impact. Ilya acted the scene quite well. His written his with his written and moaning clearly like concerning to fans like in the performance center, given their shocked faces. Ridge Holland, for his part, was emotional like as well, yelling for at the referee, why always me? Which I also forgot about saying onto my SNA podcast on the NXT review. But now I'm saying it onto this wrestling news video. Hopefully that made it up for the NXT review, by the way. But anyways, it says at a typical for real injuries, the show came to a halt and fixed on the scene of the medical staff at ringside, loading Dragunov onto the stretcher in a detail that would be very odd if this were a real injury. Referees took pause to drape the NXT champion belt like over the champ's waist, like before he was stretchered away. The show went off the air with the scene of Ilya Dragunov being wheeled towards a wait awaiting ambulance, like as commentary like was silent throughout the concern for injury. Ilya Dragunov is set to defend his NXT championship at the at at the WWE NXT New Year's Evil event. Although card may be subject to change given that the developments from tonight's or not tonight last night's, which is probably posted from last night when I was doing my SNA podcast. But anyways, is that developments from last night's show, like as the injury angle closed the show, no update on the status of the New Year's Evil title match or title defense against Trick Williams has been provided by WWE. But it says Wrestle Talk will keep you guys update for latest news from around NXT. Like just stay tuned in the mean. They keep tuning in the meantime. But what's your thoughts on this angle? And do you think this is like a fall and rise or like rags to riches, I should say, more like kind of storyline for Ridge Holland about like he used to been like a little bit too much of a brutal fighter, and now he's more of the most safest worker in all of WWE. Which I would say I'll say he is safe. But just sometimes he can be unfortunate. He can be unfortunate to a point that he accidentally hits a stiff move too much to a point that it injures his opponents. But despite that, he apologized to them, especially to the likes of Big E. Like, and even Big E told fans like not to get death threat and criticize him for what he did because wrestling is a very risky industry or sport if you consider it being one. But anyways, but like and I'm gonna say it too. Like for those fans, don't criticize him, especially now. Like when he's in the storyline that he injured Ilya Dragunov. Like it's all part of the script. Like if you don't like what you're seeing, please turn off the television. Don't even watch it if it's bothering you. Like don't even watch it at all if you don't like Rich Holland. Like and if you don't like what you see, what's been posted on Twitter or Instagram, please just turn it off on your phone or computers or whenever you logged on to your social media accounts on whatever electronics you have in your possession, of course. I would say, if and like what my great grandmother would say, and also what our Truth's mother would say as well. Like you said on Raw Talk back a couple years ago, like if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. It's not going to make the situation any better, even if it's in a negative manner. So I, because it's gonna make it more worse than it already is. Like, so the best thing is to do is to stay positive, be positive, because it's gonna turn around real quick, like when the negativity is gone. But yeah, my best message of me recommending anything to you about this situation. If you're a fan of this, yeah, continue to watch and see what's in store for Ridge Holland. Hopefully, he's improving into the ring, and they're gonna show this like on television, saying like he's not he's not much of a guy that'll botch his moves. Like he's not like a male version of the previous Nia Jax on her first run in WWE. He's he's improved by some like a little while of development and also training at the performance center, and he's getting more and more better and better, and he's ready to get back into the ring. Get ready to get back into the main roster, and he's going to be better than ever, like Eric Bischoff's theme song. But I'll say no offense to the former Raw GM and the former president of WCW, but it's going to be very better than that. I'm not sure if it's better than that per se, but just a little phrase to come up with. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Making a storyline once again, like I told you about, and what do you think? What's next in store for Ridge Holland? Like of his improvements of no accidents occurring into WWE and NXT. But this is all part of a storyline, like which Ilya Dragunov's okay. I believe, but I'm not trying to be the spoiler here, but it's just part of a scripted a wrestling TV show, a scripted wrestling TV show. Me talking about this as a wrestling journalist, I'm gonna let you guys know that, like, and I'm gonna say he's fully perfectly okay, but I'm saying he's okay. He got a few bruises, and while getting slammed right into that DDT, but it's not like it broke his neck or his head like poor Big E. Like, and even if it did, it probably would have been unintentional. It wouldn't have been intentional. It probably would have been in a freak accident, inconvenient situation. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. And for those who's watching that criticize Rich Hall in the past, please don't continue to do that. Like nobody do not want to see any negativity like coming. Coming out of the fans is types in their onto their phones or computers or wherever they go scrolling on social media on. But yeah, our best recommendation is to stay positive and have plenty of respect and positivity into any circumstances in any situation, no matter what. Like unconditionally, but and guaranteedly. But anyway, let's move on to the next wrestling news, and it is some press conference news, or honestly not press conference, more like polarizing WWE match type, like officially announced for a return. And it says a polarizing WWE match type has been officially announced, like to be returned like on next week. On next week's edition of the NXT show, which will be in December 26th, the day after Christmas, of course, for the second time since its extension ten, tensions, I should say, extension like in 2020, NXT will be bringing back the infamous Raw Underground once more on next week's NXT. The stipulation, as its name suggests, offer an underground fight pit type vibe with several stars surrounding the ring, uh, in, around the ring area, I should say, and the ropes removed in dark and foggy lighting. Its arrival in WWE back during the pandemic era, and not fondly remembered by many fans, although this didn't deter WWE from giving the concept like another shot in NXT in June, as Eddie Thorpe took on Damon Kemp in a winning effort. And now, as the year wraps up, Thorpe is going to have a chance to make it 2 for 2, as he once again step into NXT Underground uh, in an attempt to finally wrap up his rivalry with Dijak. And it says in reaction to the new Dijak promised that the bout would be one of the year's best, saying on Twitter, been seeing my name floating around lately on a bunch of 2023 Modi, Modi or Moty, I should say, ranking lists. Like, all I'm gonna say is there's one more NXT TV next week. Thorpe was recently was was recently instrumental in ensuring that Dijak didn't earn a shot at the NXT Championship by interfering at the very end of the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge uh, at NXT Deadline, which he helped Trick Williams out just a bit of knocking down Dijak, and and him uh, him hitting his finisher on him and getting the win, and along with the likes of Josh Briggs, Tyler Bate, and even Braun Breaker. Tyler Bate, yeah, Tyler Bate was in the match, wasn't he? Yeah. Anyways, y'all let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this. What do you think about this NXT Underground match next week on NXT? Which unfortunately, I won't be doing an NXT review, like, for the fact that I'm not going to do a Raw review. So I'm making it fair for the other shows, like Raw, with NXT and SmackDown, Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision next week. I'm gonna be giving it the week off, like, for the holidays. Like, it's gonna the holiday spirit is gonna continue, but after Christmas, I still will do my daily wrestling news videos. It's just that's gonna be the only thing for next week's task for me as a journalistic YouTuber. But yeah, I'm gonna still gonna watch the match. Like, even though it's one is pre-taped, and two it's going to be talking about the best of NXT in 2023, which I still watch it because they're still going to have matches, which I'm not sure Raw is going to have any match. I think it's going to be pre-taped, and it's going to be talking about the best matches on Raw, which I'm not sure if it's even worth talking about like onto the SNA podcast. That's why I'm going to give it the week off, I would say, yeah, of all the shows, because one's going to be pre-taped, two, it's the holiday week, and And three, and then three, I'm not sure if there will be any point of doing a review, despite it. Even the other shows other than Raw is going. The other shows other than Raw is gonna be worth reviewing because it's not gonna be that really special because it's gonna talk about what's going to happen on the upcoming weeks, like with New Year's, like with the day one edition of Raw, New Year's Evil NXT, the I believe New Year's Smash edition of Dynamite, and Rampage and Collision, and even SmackDown will have a special SmackDown edition of the show, which like this Friday they're gonna have like a little Christmas special edition, which I'm not sure what they will call it, but I know it's tonight's AEW they're gonna call it Holiday Bash, which I put on the caption that's scheduled in for this evening, which will be when NXT will be off the air. It will be the holiday bash edition of AEW Dynamite review part 19. And make sure y'all check that out for those who want to watch and that's very interested on what's going to exactly went down on tonight's show. But yeah, but back to this report. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. We're gonna move on to the next one, which is we got MJF like shares details of recent conversation with John Cena. The current AEW World Champion MJF has shared details on his recent meeting and conversation with WWE legend John Cena on the red carpet of the Iron Claw movie. MJF was was wrestling fans. Well, I mean, AEW got not was AEW got where that even came from, but anyways, AEW got. I mean, MJF got wrestling fans talking last week when he posted a picture of himself alongside Cena at the premiere of the Iron Claw in Los Angeles. The movie documenting the lives of the Von Erich family, which MJF exclusive was was the executive produce which MJF executive produced the movie, by the way. In a separate video clip posted by Chris Van Vliet, footage from the red carpet showed MJF and John Cena sharing some words with almost every fan practice was practicing their lip by reading skills to decipher do decipher the conversation. Thankfully, in a recent appearance, like on the Side Media podcast, MJF opened up regarding the meeting and what he and Cena said to one another. MJF detailed, "We are two guys that are both massive fans of each other's work. He loves what I'm doing in AEW. I obviously love everything that he's done in professional wrestling. As a whole, he's easily a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I literally am a Hall of Famer, but I believe that I am almost soon to be a first ballot professional wrestling Hall of Famer as well." We exchanged pleasantries, and we talked about we talked and discussed about how we're fans of each other's work. I told him straight up I find him to be an absolute inspiration. Which, yeah, he's clearly an inspiration, of course. Yeah, that's an obvious statement and an obvious understatement to be the exact. But anyways, what he's been able to do with Make a Wish with all the kids, and also what he's been able to do completely trend transcend outside of the professional wrestling sport and landscape is something that I've begun to do as well. I'm really proud of that, and I don't think I'd be able to do that without following the footsteps of these major giants of professional wrestling history, like him, like Batista, like The Rock. If not for these guys, they wouldn't take me seriously as an actor. In the same appearance on the Side Media podcast, MJF would address speculations regarding his AEW contract confirmation, or not confirmation. Oh, I'm talking about confirming his detail is still set to expire on January 1st, 2024. This is this has had fans questioning whether there was a chance we could see the generational talent join the likes of John Cena and his mentor Cody Rhodes in WWE. A new report has revealed what the internal reaction to MJF's latest comments has been within WWE. Follow this follow this link for more details, which we don't need to talk about because we already talked about that on the previous video. But what's your thoughts on MJF uh, having what is your thoughts about him sharing this story about his conversation he had with John Cena a week ago at the red carpet movie premiere of The Iron Claw? About, yeah, obviously saying they're a huge fan of each other, especially especially MJF is obvious a fan of Cena, and Cena been noticing him and his work in AEW, like of him being the longest reigning AEW World Champion, and being like, I believe, the youngest guy to ever do it, and that's still in his 20s, of course, and also about like any future, like anything about like meeting in the square circle again, and then he even told John Cena that he was very inspiring and very inspiring to him in his career in pro wrestling, like joining the likes of Roddy Piper, Randy Orton, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Batista, uh, you name it, The Undertaker, even like these names that inspired the salt of the earth of joining the pro wrestling business, and like at least most of these names have made me inspired of being in the wrestling community, and knowing like so many wrestling YouTubers names into the wrestling internet community or the internet wrestling community to be properly in a proper correction, of course. But yeah, like that's how I feel like when I be inspired of doing anything wrestling related, it's thanks to these names, like being an inspiration about what I can do in my life. Like just like MJF was, and in MJF also even praised John Cena by saying he did absolutely phenomenal and inspiration in being an inspirational legend into the wrestling business, and even did plenty of generous donations to the Make a Wish Foundation and even Rise Above Cancer, like especially in the month of breast cancer month in October, by donating millions of dollars to poor families, like with uh with their family members having some kind of cancer, especially breast cancer, like into the in like especially like in around that time of the year, like a couple months ago. And also, John Cena had some words to say to him as well, like saying like he's doing a amazing and wonderful job in AEW, or he just saying do amazing work in wrestling, like in general. But we all know what he's referring to, and he even and yeah, and and we can all agree with MJF saying like John Cena is in the top list in the ballot of getting a Hall of Fame induction, and whenever they have plans for it, hopefully it's soon, like in the next couple, if not a few years, like while he's still here, like in his still in a middle young age, I should say, like because 40's starting to look like the new 30s nowadays. Like, and he looks like if he's not in his 40s right now. Like, even despite having that bald spot in the back of his head, not to be funny, of course, but just to be realistic, like he still look like it's still like if he's still in his 30s, like the likes of The Rock and Jericho, and they're already in their 50s. Like The Rock being 50 years old or 51. Let me know in the comments below what's exactly the People's Champ's age. But I know Chris Jericho's like 53. Like, and he's still looking like if he's still 33. But yeah, but let me know what y'all think. Do you think we're gonna see the Salt of the Earth facing the leader of the C Nation in the foreseeable future in a WWE ring, perhaps? And if you think so, when will that day will come? Which I think it could be in the next couple of years. Like even if he did join 2024, I don't think he will face John Cena in the dream match not until like the following year in 2025. Whether that be at WrestleMania, whether that be in the SummerSlam, Crown Jewel, or Survivor Series, perhaps. Any pay-per-view, it would be like a big, high-profile pay-per-view, if you ask me, in my personal opinion about the matter. But yeah, let me know in the comments and start speculating, talking, or predicting in the comments down below. But let's move on to the next wrestling news, and it is like WWE star announced like in engagement. WWE star announces engagement, and that is and it is like huge congratulations are in order, I should say, are in order or are in order, like as WWE star like has announced that she is now engaged to her fellow roster member, as made public in a post on Instagram. NXT star Blair Davenport revealed that her boyfriend, fellow NXT upstart upstart star Riley Osborne, has popped the question, and and as announced in her post, she said yes, uploading a pair of pictures of the special occasion, including one showing off her engagement ring. Wow, I did not know that Blair Davenport was dating Riley Osborne. It seems like Thea Hale won't be happy about of hearing this news. Okay, I'm just kidding. Obviously, she's not really dating the guy. It's all part of the scripted storyline, like I always keep saying, which I understand what's the point. But anyways, we could see a storyline into this, like with Blair Davenport, like show the reveal that she's engaged to Riley Osborne, which that would make Thea Hale make her on screen pissed off about the matter, which that's all part of the show. There's nothing reality about it. Like considering the fact that she posted on Instagram that she got engaged to the guy. And besides, Thea Hale in real life's dating Nathan Frazier. So what will be the issue about that? What would be any issues about the matter? But anyways, let's move on. Let's move on to continue to talk about like I would say not move on, more like continue the news right here. But anyway, she said yes, uploading like pair of occasional showing off her engagement ring. Several of couples of NXT colleagues, such as Kalani Jordan, Tatum Paxley, Carmen Petrovic, hope into the comments, like on the post, to offer not her, but their congratulations, respectively, of course. You can see the announcement for yourself down below. The news came as both Davenport and Osborne are ascend are ascending like NXT's ranks with promising futures ahead of them in the new year. Davenport recently earned her biggest win to date at NXT Deadline, winning the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge, and earlier the and earning the right to face Lyra Valkyria for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT New Year's Evil on January 2nd. As for Osborne, he is currently impressing in the 2023 men's NXT Breakouts tournament, advancing to the semifinals where he will face Alexis King next week. And it says Wrestle Talk would like to congratulate both Davenport and Osborne on this exciting news. And same with Super Ninja Austin, courtesy to the SNA podcast. I want to give a huge congratulations to Miss Davenport and Mr. Osborne for this lovely occasion. And I want to show you the post that she posted on Twitter, or not Twitter, Instagram, of them of her showing off her engagement ring on the ring, and then the comments also, and with her standing beside her now known fiance, Riley Osborne, and I hope for them to have many blessings. I hope and pray many blessings upon their marriage. I would say, like for for in their perspectives, of course, like. And for me being a wrestling fan and a WWE fan and watching them every week on NXT, like for me as a fan, I would love to give a congratulations and also personally too. Like for them as a person and them as a wrestler, I wish them good luck for their future and what's to come in their destiny, I should say, and hopefully many years of their future lives as well, and their future offsprings and their future generations of their next family members, I should say. Let me to describe it properly at the moment, I suppose. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this shocking breaking news from the former NXT UK star, now NXT Iron Survivor star, like in 2023. Like, let me know about all that in the comments down below, of course. But anyway, let's move on to the next wrestling news. We got some CM Punk news right now as he replaces popular WWE star. CM Punk has taken the place of a popular WWE star following his return and subsequent signing with the Raw brand. CM Punk made his return to WWE at the climax of the Survivor Series event in Chicago after almost a decade away from the company. During his appearance on the December 11th episode of Raw, CM Punk officially declared himself a member of the Monday Night Raw roster, signing with the Red Brand after having been a free agent since his return. After being officially named a member at the Raw roster, WWE has now added Punk to the banner, like advertising the show on its official website. Punk took place of Jey Uso on the banner and is now featured alongside Cody Rhodes, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, and Gunther. Randy Orton, who also returned to WWE at Survivor Series and subsequently signed with the SmackDown roster, was also added to SmackDown's banner, replacing the injured Charlotte Flair. Punk declared himself the 2024 Royal Rumble match on the December 11th episode of Raw as well, with he and Cody Rhodes, the only two confirmed entrant like entrance like in the match as of now. And there's a photo of the updated banner with CM Punk replacing Jey Uso, like where he's in the side with Cody and Rhea Ripley. And do you think this is a? And do you think that? And what's your thoughts on that? I think they're just doing that because he's more of a bigger star. I'm not saying that Jey Uso's not a big star, but CM Punk's been well established and he's known as a multi-time world champion. And everybody knows about CM Punk from the past 20 years, 20 plus years in the pro wrestling business. So maybe that's one of the reasons why, like he won multiple world championships. He worked with a lot of wrestling promotions, but I'm not sure if that's entirely the case in that manner. But he won multiple world championships. Everybody know his name. He's like a hot star, like in the pro wrestling business. Like, so that's why they probably replaced him. I mean, that like if it did like a whole entire roster list on the banner, they would definitely would show Jey Uso, considering he's on the Raw brand. So yeah, that would make sense to put him on like the overall banner list. But I think this is updated because like they have future plans for the Chicago made star, whether if they're gonna put the World Heavyweight Championship on him or not. But I think he's gonna at least headline WrestleMania, at least night one against Seth Rollins, which both men are wishing they could do, like which Seth Rollins wanted to properly main event WrestleMania. He technically did, but it was only for the heist of the century moment, like by stealing the win from both Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at the time in 2015, like at WrestleMania 31. But yeah, I think they're doing like I think they'll finally have CM Punk actually main event WrestleMania and Seth Rollins properly main event one. And it will be a classic for both men, like to see them fighting out for the world championship. And even if they have Seth Rollins win, I wouldn't mind that because I'm a fan of both guys. Like, why not like have them just fight it out, and whoever wins, I wouldn't complain. Like it's all part of business decisions and what makes sense on paper, like on who would win. Like either way, like they're gonna be on paper that these guys are their first ever main event WrestleMania match. Which I'm not sure if it's entirely true for Seth Rollins, only just partially true because he went out in the ring and cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase in 2015 and the second half of the match with Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you want to see a match like this. And we can still see night two with Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes. But most importantly, who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble? I think either of these two that declared themselves the first two entries of the Royal or the first two entrants of the Royal Rumble, like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. But who's your prediction on your bingo card of the Royal Rumble match? Make sure to leave a comment down below. I would love to hear it from you guys. I think it's going to be either of these guys, and if it's Cody Rhodes, he's going after Roman Reigns. But if it's CM Punk, he's going after Seth Rollins. And either way, we're gonna see these guys main event WrestleMania. Just CM Punk and Seth Rollins gonna be night one, and then Cody Rhodes taking on Roman Reigns at night two. Like that'll be everybody gets a win-win situation, and we're gonna see like everybody get to achieve their dreams, like with CM Punk achieving his dream of main event in WrestleMania, and Cody Rhodes achieving his dream of finishing the story and finally being WWE for him and his father's sake of becoming WWE champion. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next wrestling news now, and it is some Charlotte Flair injury news updates. It says right here with Charlotte Flair replaced by major WWE star following injury. Well, I would say an injury update. My apologies. I would say more like another replacement, like another news story about a top star being replaced by another top star, except on the other brand, on the Friday Night Blue brand of Friday Night SmackDown. The following, Shaw Flair has been replaced by a major WWE star following her recent injury set to keep her out of action for 9 months. Charlotte was unfortunately injured during a match against Asuka on the December 8th tribute to the Troops episode of SmackDown. Charlotte fell off the top rope, tearing her ACL and MCL and meniscus, which is set to keep her out of action for 9 months. Per WWE, following her major injury, Charlotte has now been replaced on WWE's banner for SmackDown with new SmackDown signing Randy Orton taking her place. Orton officially signed with the SmackDown brand following his return to WWE at Survivor Series after 18 months out of action, with his target set on the Bloodline. With Orton signing with SmackDown, Raw officially signed Punk to their roster, with him also being added to the Raw banner on the website. On the website, replacing Jey Uso. Charlotte Flair reportedly signed a monster new contract with WWE prior to her injury, which is set to be among the highest deals ever given to a female talent. And here's the post right here with her with Randy Orton replacing Charlotte Flair by standing beside Roman Reigns and Logan Paul. While on the other side, we see Bianca Belair, LA Knight, and Io Sky. Yeah. And what's your thoughts on that? Make sure to leave a comment down below. I think the reason why I can think of 2 reasons right now why they did it. One, Charlotte's injured, and we're not going to see her for a while, at least for the first half of 2024. And then 2, Randy Orton is a much bigger star, similar to CM Punk. Everybody knows who Randy Orton is, as much as they know CM Punk is. They're both former multi-time world champions. They've been in the wrestling business for over 20 years, and they're also they're remembered by their nicknames, their catchphrase, their finishing maneuvers, which is the go to sleep and the RKO. And also known as their nicknames, the best in the world, and the Viper, and the Apex Predator, the Chicago-made Star, the Second City Saint, the what's that? What they call? I guess it got a Pepsi nickname too. Even my mom remembered his Pepsi nickname because of his tattoo, his Pepsi tattoo, CM Punk. But yeah, Randy Orton was known as the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator, the Viper, all those nicknames, like from the past 20 years, like of him being in the WWE. And same with CM Punk when he wrestled for WWE and even outside of WWE with the likes of Impact Wrestling, which was TNA at the time, like in the early years, and also Ring of Honor, and then WWE, and then and even wrestled independent wrestling companies like wrestling the likes of Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero as well before he got into the major pro wrestling league, I should say, like where it was signed by multiple major names, like such as TNA, Ring of Honor, WWE, then AEW, like in wrestling there for a good 2 years until returning to WWE. And he won multiple championships from both companies. I'm not sure about TNA though, but I'll say, but in Ring of Honor, WWE, and AEW, he won plenty of championships, heavyweight championships that earned him the status of being known as a main event star, and he needs the main event WrestleMania. But I think that's a good reason why they have Randy Orton replaced that, even if Shawn Flair wasn't injured. I was like, the reason why they're replacing them, even though, don't get me wrong, Shawn Flair's also a star in her own rights, and she's just a star and a veteran like Randy Orton. Like with them winning like over a dozen world championships in their respective divisions in the men's and women's division. So I'll say there's nothing like discrimination about it. It's just that Charlotte's injured for one, and two, Randy Orton is a much bigger star, and he just signed with SmackDown. And yeah, and like the first reason, it's because most likely the first reason with Shawn Flair going to be injured, you're going to be out for the half, but it's still going to show her in the overall banner of SmackDown though. Like I think they will like when they show all the wrestlers on the roster on SmackDown, which we'll see if we see on their internal page on their website. But yeah. Like, let me know in the comments below what you think. And I think, and also I want to talk about both the comparisons about Randy Orton and Shawn Flair. I think they're both going to beat Ric Flair's record and maybe even have over 20 reigns as world champion in the men's and women's division. Like, and expect that for the next decades to come because they're probably going to wrestle for the next decade, and they're going to call it quits. Unless Shawn Flair decides to remain active for another decade. Because after all, she's in her late 30s. But she could still wrestle even if she's in her late 50s like her father. But Ric Flair wrestled his final match in 2022, teaming with his son-in-law, which is Charlotte's husband, Andrade. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. We're going to move on to the next. We're going to move on next up with some WrestleMania news now. And before I talk about anything about the WrestleMania news, I'll be right back. I'm gonna step out and check on something, and I am going to come back here and talk about what's gonna be in store for WrestleMania 40. Like what the rumors are speculating, of course. Let me rephrase that. But anyway, I'll be right back. Anyways, Super Ninja Austin back. My apologies. Hopefully that didn't take too long. But anyways, we got a major WWE star tease. teases speculated WrestleMania 40 event. It says a major WWE star has teased a potential major match that have been speculated to be one of the marquee matches at WrestleMania 40. Rhea Ripley has reigned as the Women's World Champion since WrestleMania 39, where she defeated Charlotte Flair for the for the then SmackDown Women's Champion, of course. Rhea has faced many women for the title, but one name she has yet to face off against is none other than the man herself, Becky Lynch. With many fans believing that the two will end up clashing at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia next year. Speaking on strutting for Gorilla podcast, Becky Lynch, or I'm not sure if it's even called a podcast. It's more like speaking on the strutting from Gorilla. Becky Lynch, like Becky, spoke about who she was, her, talk about who was her eye on in the division, like saying that she wants to take on wants to take the title from Rhea, potentially at WrestleMania 40. She said, there are so many talent up and comers like in match that we haven't gotten to yet. No, numero like Uno like on the docket like is I've got to shut up Nia Jax first. We haven't had that match, like which is unbelievable to think that Nia and I haven't gotten one on one in a WWE ring, but it's true. Then there is the next step, which is taking the title off Rhea Ripley. That Take off of Rhea Ripley, like that title. When I hold that title, like that title is the main event of every show. Her title has been seen in many of main events, like making that a plural, but not because she's been defending it. No, just because she's the being a a comp a com a companionment being a companionment to the main event. I I can't have that. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that, and I'm going to take that title back off her, like preferably at WrestleMania. Becky also named a rising NXT star as a woman she wants to one day face off against, which you can see here. But we're going to get to that in just a minute. Becky's WWE contract is currently set to expire in June 2024, with her recently speaking about her future in the company, which you can see here as well. But what's your thoughts on Becky Lynch teasing that she could face Rhea Ripley by by hoping she will face the Eradicator for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship at the biggest showcase event of the year, which I hopefully that's the case because that's what everybody's been saying too. But I've been thinking about that too. I was like, she's been beating every woman in the division. The only women's wrestler she hasn't beaten for the women's world title is both by defending the championship is both Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, which I believe WWE will book a Becky Lynch versus Rhea match at WrestleMania, which we could possibly see the man dethrone the Eradicator for her women's world title, which I believe that's the title. That's the title that Becky Lynch very first was when it was originally the SmackDown Women's Championship 7 years ago, when they introduced the title as the SmackDown Women's Championship, which I figured that was like a women's world heavyweight belt, like for the fact that the Raw Women's Championship was originally the original WWE Women's Championship, because it was known that when Lita introduced it at WrestleMania 32, when they had a triple threat match between her, Charlotte Flair, and Sasha Banks. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below if you want to see Becky Lynch be the one to dethrone Rhea Ripley for her Women's World Heavyweight Championship, like with her holding that title for a whole entire year. But yeah, I'm going to let y'all to be the judge of that. I'm going to move on to the next wrestling news, and it is we're going to move on to an AEW star thinks they could do better than MJF as AEW World Champion. A top star has stated his belief that he could be could do a better job as the world champion, having now held the biggest prize in AEW for well over a calendar year. It's easy to argue MJF's status as perhaps the best world champion in the company's history book. Despite the link to MJF's reign, however, there seems to be at least one man in the locker room that feels he could do a better job still. That being perhaps the star with the most momentum in the company right now, Swerve Strickland, on the back of huge wins against the likes of Hangman Adam Page at both Wrestle Dream and Full Gear. Strickland has proceeded to also knock off the majority of his opponents in the Continental Classic, with the win-loss record to back him up. It may not be long before Swerve is challenging for the AEW World Title, something that he feels is in his future in 2024. Speaking to News for Jax, Swerve affirmed his championship aspirations, while also throwing some shade at his old rival Page. He said, "Not just any type of gold, like AEW World Champion, only to the top." And I said, in the middle of this year, if I had gotten the opportunities that Hangman Page would have Page would have gotten my first year, I would have been the first African American world champion, which that's still true, and that still could be what's that called? What's that accurate? Like if he can successfully can execute for those plans of him becoming the new AEW World Champion, but not only that, the first ever African American World Champion. At first, I was thinking like perhaps a Scorpio Sky, maybe even Powerhouse Hobbs. But now it comes to think of it, like Swerve Strickland is getting over, like very over lately. But I could, I could see him being the third candidate now of being the first ever African American AEW World Champion, which that could happen, whether if it's 2024, 2025, like or even like wherever the time may be. I could see he former NXT North American champion of being all elite world champion in the foreseeable future. But anyways, he also continue on saying, and I do believe that I can still do that. Then when asked how he feels MJF is doing as champion currently, Swerve replied, I think I could do better. Without a doubt, without a doubt. And he literally said it twice, saying without a doubt 2 times in a row. But anyways, MJF's next scheduled AEW title defense comes at World's End on December 30th from Long Island, New York, where the Devil defends against Samoa Joe. Excuse me, my bad. But anyways, despite carrying the company's biggest prize again in just over a week, MJF has caused a stir by re reiterating that he has still yet to sign a new contract with the company with his existing deal set to expire on January 1st, 2024. To find out the internal reaction within WWE to these comments, like, but yeah, what's your thoughts on Swerve Strickland could be a better AEW champion? And then if he beats the next AEW champion, like not only he'll be the seventh ever AEW champion, he would also be the first ever African American world champion, which I would say that'll be a very I'll say that would be a very awesome achievement if he can do so in AEW. Which I would say now he mentioned it, and he's been getting over on this Continental Classic and like onto this Golden League tournament, which that continues this tonight. Like, which who thinks going to win the next round? Let me know in the comments down below. But I could see in like if not 2024, but like 2025, whether if he's still a heel or to turn back into a baby face, I still think he could capitalize as a championship contender, and even as a champion himself, like of winning the All Elite Wrestling World Champion from either of the AEW stars that successfully got that achievement. My apologies, excuse me for the yawning. But I'm not sure if he'll be having Prince Nana as his manager, though, for him celebrating by doing that swerve when he drive dance, like the, and I swear, and I drive, and and then do like cowboy dance, like if he's like a rootin' tootin' riding cowboy, I guess I could say. But yeah, I think he could be AEW champion and even first ever African American champion in the process. And also, yeah, I think so. But what y'all think about that? And do you think he'll be a better champion than MJF? I'll say I'm not sure if that's a necessary answer at this time. Like it depends, like what he has to offer as champion. Like, will he be a fighting champion? Will he be an entertaining, much more of an entertaining champion than MJF ever be? Which that's a tough, that's a tough. I'll say that's a tough word to use. Like when it comes to being on the level with the devil. But we'll have to see, like whenever he beats AEW champion, which continues to remain to be seen. Let's move on to the next news now, and it is we got some released WWE stars. Like thanks company ahead of free agency. It says a released WWE star has thanked the company ahead of their release of their official free agent, like the free agency, like beginning on December 21st, which is tomorrow, by the way. But anyways, it says between September 21st and 22nd, many WWE talent were let go from their contracts, including the likes of Dolph Ziggler, Matt Riddle, and even Mustafa Ali. One I One other name let go was former Hit Row member AJ Francis, aka or formerly known as Top Dollar, with he and the majority of talent then required to sit out a 90-day non-compete clause before seeking work elsewhere. Now, as that day finally arrives, Francis has seen a message like of thanks to his thanks to his former employer WWE, teasing a new era in enters enters free agency, and it says right here he thanked WWE. Like tomorrow begins the dollar era, like which he caps the caption that as well, saying "Don't say I didn't warn you." But yeah, whatever wrestling promotion he signs with, expect him to be known as Dollar when he makes his debut, whatever promotion it may be, whether if it's from the independent scene or it could be an Impact Wrestling, which is going to be soon to be returning back to TNA, or NJPW, CMLL, AAA, if he ever goes to Japan or Mexico, of course, or even AEW, like and sign a contract and join his former Hit Row teammate, what's his name, Swerve Strickland, into a contract. But anyway, it says Francis first moves away from WWE, where WWE were recently revealed as he was announced to be returned to GCW, returning to GCW, I should say, in the new year, specifically for the January 26th, GCW Look at Me event. Also announced for that same show is fellow WWE release star Mansoor, one of the stars making their next step post WWE. While some such as All and Shelton Benjamin have yet to be announced any upcoming bookings, there has been speculation rampant regarding one of the release stars potentially moving to TNA in the new year. But what's your thoughts? Who it could possibly be? Do you think it could be a Shelton Benjamin? Do you think it's going to be a Dolph Ziggler, a Mustafa Ali, Matt Riddle, or even Top Dollar, aka Francis, or soon to be just Dollar? Like whatever wrestling promotion he signs with, like after he becomes a free agent. But it also says TNA President Scott D'Amore recently announced the the company were negotiating what could be their biggest ever signing for their upcoming Hard to Kill pay-per-view on January 13th. This has led to fan speculation that one of the released WWE names could potentially fit the bill. However, nothing has been confirmed on this just yet. Stay tuned to Wrestle Talk for any updates like regarding to futures of all the WWE releases. And there's the post right here from Top Dollar of putting on the caption. And what's your thoughts on that? Like of seeing Top Dollar being just Dollar in like less than 24 hours from now, like using his trademark Dollar, and he can go any wrestling promotion is that name, and hopefully whenever promotion it can be, I hope the best for the former Hit Row member. I hope for the best for his future in pro wrestling and many more years to come. And do you think it's going to be either of these release names, like even a Dana Brooke, perhaps, or even a Elias, or it could be somebody that's already been a free agent for the past year? Could it be a Goldberg or even a Mercedes Monet, perhaps, joining the company with her real life and her wrestling best friend Trinity? Only time will tell. I think it could be anything is possible when it comes to pro wrestling. I'm not gonna say never. I'm not gonna say never on anything at this point. Nor I'm gonna say never at any time in wrestling. Even though if I have my doubts about wrestling, I cannot doubt the fact that it could happen because anything is possible. Like when anything is if someone or something's active at that moment at that time. You might not know what to predict into the squared circle. But yeah, let me know all about this into the news in the comments down below. We're going to move on to the next wrestling news. We got some more Becky Lynch news now. And oh yeah, and also about Becky, I was like, yeah, it's been shocking that we never seen her in a singles match against Nia Jax. Like that, she got into brawling encounters with her and being and involved in multi-women matches like the Royal Rumble, particular. But I, but I, but I never thought like they never had a singles match before. I never realized that until they mentioned it on WWE television recently from the past couple months because it lead up to the story from 5 years ago when Nia Jax the absolute punched the absolute uh, punched the absolute crumblings out of Becky Lynch's nose, I should say, if that make any sense. But Becky Lynch singles out 20-year-old WWE star as future opponent. And on to like the man, like Becky Lynch has singled out a 20-year-old NXT star as a potential opponent. If I haven't already guessed, because I already mentioned her before, inside a WWE ring in the future, it says in 2023, Lynch finally captured one glaring miss piece of gold from her decorated WWE career that being the NXT Women's Championship. This run on Tuesday nights allowed Becky Lynch to not only tick off another accomplishment, but also allow her to the entrench to entrench herself in the next into the next crop of WWE talent, rising through the ranks. When reflecting on her time on the gold brand with strutting from Gorilla, like naming I speak uh, on the same interview with strutting from Gorilla. Becky Lynch would name one young star in particular who she uh, can to keep an eye on, uh, which that star, the 20-year-old star, is none other than Thea Hale, which I figured that was the case. They said NXT star and 20 years old. Who else could it possibly be? I don't know any other NXT wrestler that's on television that's killing it into the women's division that's 20 years old, other than Thea Hale, which it was her. But this is what Becky had to say. She was like, I think Thea Hale is somebody that I look forward to seeing how she progresses. Like, she's somebody that's different. She's got this particular charisma about her that I really like and that I really enjoy. So I'm looking forward to one day stepping in the ring with her too. Hale has had a breakout year in NXT in 2023, showing she showing she can tie up with the biggest names on the brand during her rivalry with then NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton over the summer. Since then, Hale has adopted a persona with a bit more attitude, thanks to the help of JC Jane. Unfortunately for Jane and Hale, they have found themselves associated with the ongoing Chase U gambling scandal involving Andre Chase in recent weeks. To catch up on the latest developments in the story, following this link here, which you can see, but we're just gonna talk about this for now about Becky Lynch. And what's your thoughts on Becky Lynch wanting to face Thea Hill as soon as she gets called up to the main roster? And when do you think she's gonna be called up? Do you think it's gonna be like anytime, like in the next 2 years? They're gonna be for at least a few years, like until in the late 2020s, like into the when if she gets called up to the main roster. Well, only time will tell. I can't predict that, but I can predict like the likes of Roxanne Perez and Tiffany Stratton. They could get called up to the main roster easily, probably by the year of 2025, if not 2024, of course. Even though they made their names for themselves, even winning and having reigned as NXT Women's Champion, respectively, in their respective reigns is the title. But speaking of Tiffany Stratton, we saw Thea Hill nearly beat Tiffany Stratton with her tapping out of the what's that submission lock, the Kimura lock, yeah. But she reinvented herself with a couple attitude with JC Jane, however. Uh, I think she's getting somewhat success into this character change, like for the 20-year-old NXT star. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below about what you think of Becky's comments about she wanted to face her in WWE and looking forward to that whenever they step foot in the ring together. But yeah, but in the meantime, just continue to see Thea Hale exclusively on NXT, while Becky Lynch is going to be exclusively on Monday Night Raw in the time being in WWE. This is where let's move on to the next news story, and it's some WWE NXT. We got some WWE main roster stars make surprise NXT appearance. A pair of main roster WWE stars made a surprise appearance on this week's NXT to back up a current champion of the brand. Following Dragon Lee's latest defense of the NXT North American Championship against Joe Coffey and Charlie Dempsey, the fighting champion found himself the subject of a 4-on-1 attack at the hands of Dempsey's allies in the no quarter catch crew. Dempsey and Gulak, which is Dempsey, Gulak, Miles Bourne, and Damon Kemp, all laid out Lee after he successfully retained his goal. With the champion in dire restraint, that was continued. I mean, that was until SmackDown stars in the LWO's own Rocking Wild and Cruz del Toro. Cruz del Toro returned to NXT to make the save for their ally and feud off his attackers. While Wood take to Twitter following NXT to further enforce his report for Lee, saying, "We got your back," like was it Rob Proctor's chiropractor, Pactor's Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee not being an official member of the LWO, he has been known to side with the team, even recently fighting on the injured Rey Mysterio's behalf at LWO. On the behalf at Survivor Series, I should say. My apologies. 2023 against Santos Escobar. While his issues, with the LWO remains. Santos Escobar, while his issues with the LWO remain, Escobar big big opportunity ahead of him. At this hour, SmackDown, December 22nd, as he faced Bobby Lashley in the semifinals and of the United States Championship tournament. We also have due to the festive reason approaching this week's SmackDown has already been taped, meaning spoilers are available for this show. And if you're not gonna be ready for spoilers, I'll recommend you to pause this video. on like if there's any spoilers onto the article. If you don't be spoiled, I recommend you to pause this video or cover your ears, whatever that's convenient for you. If you don't want to be spoiled on into the future on what's gonna happen on the pre-tape episode of SmackDown. I don't think there's nothing right now, but there's just a warning. And then this where let me know in the comments down below what your thought on what's your thought on Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild being in the aid for Dragon Lee? And do you think it's gonna make Santos Escobar more jealous that he challenged him in a match, especially for the North American Championship match, which is the belt that he couldn't even beat the future Swerve Strickland with? But anyways, let's move on to the next wrestling news. But I'm gonna let y'all there to be the judge of that in the comments down below. Let's move on to the WWE teases disbanding group. It says WWE has teased a split again as a group could be disbanded entirely after someone wants to ride solo on WWE NXT. Back in a backstage segment on tonight's WWE NXT tonight's episode NXT, more signs that perhaps the group perhaps the group of a group of Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs and Fallon Henley could be coming to an end. I said on next week's episode of WWE Raw, Josh Briggs to take on Noam Dar and likely the rest of Metaphor, without anyone by his side. Telling Brooks Jensen saying, I need to ride solo on this. The pair continue to see odd appearances, as they seem they seemingly drift apart, while Josh Briggs continue to chase solo goals on the Iron like at the Iron Survivor match the Iron Survivor Challenger, I should say. uh, yeah, and it's where WWE's website's they posted this saying when I But what's your thoughts on Josh Briggs wanting to do this solo, like I said last week, and this is gonna be a push for him for the Heritage Cup trophy? Only time will tell. Let me know in the comments down below.
I see y'all later. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna go to work, okay? I see y'all tonight. Love y'all. Hi, baby.
Hey, mom.
Hey, I see you tonight.
All right,
I'm
see you
going
tonight. See you tonight. All right, yeah. Have a blessed day.
Grandma gotta go get it.
Have a blessed day at work, mom. But anyways, what's your thoughts? And do you are you expected to see Fallon Henley, Josh Briggs, and Brooks Jensen to split real soon and go in their separate ways? Or do you think they should stay as a trio, like much like that's how they got their popularity in NXT in the first place? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. It would be very sad to see them splitting up, but if it's for the benefit of having their separate runs as bigger stars than they already are, then I guess I wouldn't mind it in a way. But anyways, WWE. We also have WWE tournament finalists like revealed. The final four for the WWE NXT Men's Breakouts Tournament is set after last night's match. I saw two more men's qualify for the semifinals. The inaugural WWE NXT Men's Breakout Tournament has been occurring over the past weeks, and now the finals are set. Like on last night's WWE NXT, like December 19th, Alexis King and Tavion Heights advanced into the men's break the men's breakouts tournament to reveal the full field for the semifinals. In the final round, Chase Hughes, newest student Riley Osborne will take on NXT's resident drama king, according to Booker T, of course, Alexis King. Interestingly, King was only entered into the tournament after having attacked original participant Trey Bearhill during an introduction segment. After King's win over Dion Lennox, Bearhill ran out with a steel chair while Alexis King escapes like in danger in mug like for the camera. Almost also not almost also revealed for the semifinal battle. Obafemi will take on Tavion Height. Like after the latter score an impressive victory over Luca Crucifino, I should say. I thought it was Crucifino, but it's Crucifino. Which I would give a huge congratulations to him and Alexis King, I guess, and Obafemi and Riley Osborne from last week as well. But who thinks going to win and going to be the breakout winner? Is it going to be Riley Osborne? Is it going to be Alexis King, or do you think it's going to be Obafemi? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, this is where we're gonna end today's video with some WWE star under investigation continues problematic behavior. On last night's WWE NXT, Andre Chase looked to solve his immense gambling debt, course, of course more problematic gambling. This one might work like work over work where it might work might not work out like so well for the embattled leader of Chase U, Andre Chase, as he struggles to get out of debt. It last week, while the Chase U students attempted to come up with ideas to raise funds for their school's massive debt, allegedly due to Andre Chase's gambling, there was an intriguing proposition. Scripps joined into the classroom, like joined in the classroom session and went straight to Andre Chase at the podium, handing over a metal briefcase, uh, telling Chase that he had a proposition. It seems that perhaps Scripps had an idea for how Andre Chase and Chase U could get out of this debt. And it said right here onto this article, continue on the article, on this week's episode, Chase was seen shooting dice with OTM, Bronco Nima, and Lucius Price, like over overjoyed with how his gambling was turning out, with Duke Hudson on hand to encourage Chase to walk away. To to uh, uh, the Chase U leader couldn't seem to stop. Go on, go on, except a wag, like a wager or wagger or wager, I should say, not wag, no wagger. I mean a wager, yeah, wager that he would get OTM and NXT, give an NXT tag title shot. Titles that championship it's entitled "Shot for a Chance of Double the Money." He had made the company cemented cemented like it says. He's going on to accept wagers from OTM in NXT tag. Oh yeah, I said for a chance I get more I going on to anyway. Where is going on to accept the wager of no a wager of a wager that he would get OTM and NXT tag team title shot for a chance to double up his money he had made. The comments surrounded Adriana Rizzo. Rizzo. This is where
Tony D'Angelo and the family, female powerhouse. Rizzo, like at the at first, like questioned Chase before confirming with the Don he was down for the challenge. Like in the end, like Andre Andre Chase was confident in the latest gambling, telling Duke Hudson that NXT they would be paying their debt in full. Elsewhere on last night's WWE NXT main roster star has returned. Main roster star has returned, like with the bold claim that he is back in NXT for his redemption.
But yeah, we thought about that, which we already talked about that in the beginning of the wrestling news video. But what's your thoughts on Chase U? And do you think they're gonna win to double up the money to pay back the debts of the U.S. funds of financial aid for Chase U? And do you think that is gonna and do you think it's gonna help? And do you think they're gonna win and they're gonna get some help from the family of Tony D'Angelo to make sure they get the money back? And then they can get the funds get paid off, the funds debts paid off. Like, and also you try to win back their NXT Tag Team Championships. But if don't, they're gonna leave with nothing, and they're gonna go back to being the $300 duo. It's well, mostly Andre Chase being the $300 professor that only has that under his name. Like, which one do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And do you think they'll win themselves an NXT Tag Team Championship video? Oh, I see Mr. Michael Vasquez, like one of my favorite viewers. Like, uh, one of my favorite viewers, like that always compliments my video. And I appreciate this compliment saying I have a nice video. And I want to give you a huge shout out onto here, courtesy on the SNA podcast. And thank you for watching to the very end as well. And make sure to comment on which one was your favorite wrestling news story from the Wrestle Talk article. My apologies, bro. Make sure you check it out search it on Google, whatever electronic device you have, and start reading all the articles they have to offer for you. But yeah, but let me know in the comments on what you think about the video, and also the what do you think about anything about the matter, and also and for all you those that are going to be watching in the future, you SNA viewers out there, what do you think about what's going to be next for WWE in the foreseeable future as well? Like me curiously asking. But yeah, again, let me know in the comments down below. That was your video of the wrestling news video of episode 186 of the SNA podcast. And I was your host, Super Ninja Austin, on this video. And this was the wrestling news part 71, where I talked about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that USNA fans need to know from the Wrestle Talk article, which we was talking about the wrestling news on December 20th, 2023. But yeah, let me know what y'all's favorite wrestling news story out of this list in the comments down below, and what's your take on it and what's your opinion on it. Please make sure to show that in the comments down below. But yeah, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please leave a huge thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, click the bell notification so you can be the first one to be notified when I upload my latest video. And also make sure y'all check out later on tonight, which will be the AEW Holiday Bash edition of Dynamite, which is going to be the Dynamite review Holiday Bash edition, part 19 of the AEW Dynamite review on the SNA podcast, which will be episode 187. Make sure you check that out, like, which is going to be in a few hours from now. Also, yeah, stay tuned to watching more of my videos on the content. Keep on YouTube and show your support into the IWC and on YouTube. And hope you all have a great Wednesday afternoon. And I'll see you all later on this evening. when AEW Dynamite goes off the air. Until we see each other again, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, is out of online by my SNA fans. More like outline.